we wanted to give a little preview. So it is almost December of what I would mark as one of the weirdest years ever. For some people, probably worst. For others, maybe being home and not traveling was great. I kind of found it in the middle. Very stressful. The elections, the just all the negativity on social, the kids not being in school, but at the same time, from a tech standpoint, this year's been a bit of a boon. I mean, we've seen the tech companies have really carried the markets back, at least if you're in the investment markets. But to some extent, it basically kept businesses flowing. Connectivity, whether it was 5G, keeping the world connected through the deployments of 5G, LTE, and enhanced Wi-Fi's and different techs, for networking, it's security, or even, Pat, software that enabled people to work from home. And of course, we talked about PCs and devices, and boy, are we having some fun there. So there's been goods and bads there. But the last month is going to be loaded with events from some of the world's biggest companies, Pat. And I'll let you kick it off. But basically, long and short is, for you out there, there's going to be a lot more coming from us. There's going to be a lot more to talk about, because some of the biggest companies on the planet, their tech events are about to take off. And that means lots of announcements, lots of news, and lots of analysis coming from Pat and I here on the 6.5.
Yeah, so we have AWS reInvent. Literally, if you look at what AWS does, they have this blowout event at the end of the year called reInvent. And then they have these regional shows that go through the rest of the year. But I feel like literally all of AWS for 3 months is getting ready for this event. And they're, the far and away leader in IaaS. They do a lot of PaaS, and they've been adding some SaaS products that connect the entire stack together. So I'm not going to talk about what I think's coming, because there might be some pre-briefings involved, but I'm looking for some big stuff. And then Cisco is Webex One. So for enterprises, Webex is still the leader, if not one of the leaders, in enterprise video and audio collaboration. And this is Cisco's once a year big event to come out with new products, new services, because remember, Cisco does hardware and software and services. So I'm looking forward to everything that they're bringing out here. Why don't you take these ones, Daniel?
There's a handful of others. Let's just run through them. So Intel's got its big multi-day analyst event. Intel's had a really turbulent year, some good moments, some bad moments, but we expect to get a little bit of insight to the future of the company. Look, don't count Intel out. For 20 years, it ripped and roared. And it's had a few challenges, but it's finding its footing. It's had new leadership. It's had new technology leadership. So I'm anxious to hear what the company has to say there. Qualcomm has its massive event that usually, Pat, would have had you and I in Maui for a long week of hearing all about its new mobile platforms. Well, Maui's going to have to come to us, thanks coronavirus, and we will be hearing all about what the company is doing there. Again, lots of pre-briefings, can't say much, but I expect it to be a very good event, and I expect the future of our mobile devices to continue to entertain and enable our productivity for much time to come. And then Marvell is having its big analyst day. The company's really ramped up, really found some solid footing. Its Inphi acquisition just a few weeks ago, Pat and I did a special edition of the show to cover that. Look, in the space of connecting data centers and edges and data centers, Marvell is ripping and roaring in automotive and enterprise and a lot of spaces. So company to watch in the future, and we'll hear more and have the chance to talk about that. And then finally, couldn't get it on the long banner list, but another upcoming collab platform called Pexip is having its big analyst day. And it's just another up-and-comer to watch, listed this year on the Oslo Stock Exchange in Norway. But this was a splinter of Cisco, of the Tamberg acquisition it made. So if you're kind of a collaboration peep, you would see and hear and know that the people that found this and built this know what they're doing and are building some really interesting technology for collaboration, Pat. So I think these are just the ones that came to mind.